Welcome to Two Guys, eh? Did I make you jump?
It did.
This is John.
That's Allan. How's it going out there?
So this is our fourth video.
I think so.
Yeah, no, it is. It's our fourth video, and I think today we should do a maybe a little bit of a rant.
Okay, let's rant.
I think we should talk about family.
Let's rant about family.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
but that's a whole broad spectrum.
Huge.
You got your kids, you got aunts, uncles, mums, dads, grandma, grandpas,
Wives.
ex-wives.
How many wives do you have? Not had. Have.
One.
One. Good answer, because this is not Utah. Look at you all sophisticated, drinking your coffee there.
Can you see the finger?
I see something.
It's my tay.
Okay, so what are we going to rant about? Family. Kids?
Well, let's talk. Yeah, let's talk
Wives?
about kids first. Let's talk about kids
Kids?
first. Let's talk about how wonderful it is to raise kids.
Sorry?
Do you remember the?
Do you want to compare raising kids when we were raised
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's
versus
do that.
kids
All right.
being raised today by us?
When I was a kid,
Yes.
and when I say kid, I'm gonna go back to when I was 9 years old.
Okay.
I can remember being with a few of my buddies,
Mm-hmm.
and the rule was be home when the street lights came on.
That's correct.
That was the rule. You could leave at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Got to be home when the street lights are on.
Yep.
And the reason why that rule was in effect for almost every kid back then,
Yep.
and that was what, 20 years ago?
At least.
20 years ago. If you messed up and did something wrong
Yeah.
and you weren't at home and some other adult saw you doing this,
You got shit.
they would cuff you upside the head. They would beat the shit out of you. I can remember going home crying, Mom, I got beat up. She'd be like, what'd you do?
Just, you deserved it.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith was okay by smacking you inside the head.
Wow.
It's true.
It is so bright behind me. Look at the size of my freaking ears.
You're glowing.
Look, I wiggled.
You're like an angel.
I am.
No, he's not. Yeah, it's true though, because like growing up, I grew up in a small town, but there's like everybody knows everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and you couldn't do anything without somebody seeing you. Like, I would come home and my parents already knew what I did.
I know. Like you'd be walking in. Remember the phone with the long freaking cord on it?
Yep. They didn't have cell phones. They didn't have pictures like they do nowadays.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, if I ran over somebody's lawn with my bike, my parents knew about it when I got home, and they're like, "Hey, what'd you do today?" And I'm like, "I rode my bike." And he's like, "Where'd you ride that bike?" I'm like, "Around the town." He's
Yeah.
like, "Did you go over Mr. Smith's yard and his flowers?" And I'm like,
Yeah. It was like that.
maybe. Like, they knew because everybody called everybody or everybody knew everybody. Now you can't even let your kids go outside. My kids don't go down the street and play.
Yeah, my kids never went down the street and played there.
I can't. I won't let them.
Yeah, I wouldn't let them either.
I've become
a better version of my parents. A more stricter version.
well because of society.
Yeah. We're a cuddling society now,
We
right?
are. We don't let them go out. We can't push the boundaries like we used to do. There's all these crazy ass people in the world now, they say. You got to worry about this and that, and somebody taking your kid. And I'm sure you had to worry about it back then too, but nobody wanted us.
Well, I think back then there were still people that took your kids, but
Oh, yeah.
because there wasn't internet, right? So you didn't hear much of
I
it.
think they were pickier about what they took. They didn't
That
want
could have
us.
been. That could have been.
But yeah, no, the kids are now more on their cell phones, their video games.
And a lot of kids nowadays have like alphabets. And when I say alphabets, I mean like they got ADHD and ODD and OCD and OBA and, what does that tell you? To me, that tells me that you're not allowed to spank your children anymore.
Yep.
So kids grow up without any fear. And I don't mean fear in a bad way. There's good fear and bad
But
fear.
I don't recall getting spanked a lot.
Oh, I got my ass whooped at least twice a day.
I remember, well, I was a good kid compared to you.
I think my mom
But-
owned stock in the wooden spoon factory.
But I had the threat of it, and that was enough.
There was a look.
There was a look,
Do you remember the look?
or he'd reach for his belt, and you're like, whoa.
I still have belt marks
And you
indented
didn't-
on
but
my
see, you
left
never-
guy's cheek.
He never had to. I was already, apologizing before it actually happened because I was scared. You're scared of your parents. Kids aren't scared of parents anymore. And I'm not saying that you should be scared of your parents, but
Have you heard the story where that kid gets in trouble and his dad says to him, or his dad goes to grab him to spank him, and his son looks up at him and says, "If you spank me, I'm going to write a book and call the Children's Aid Society."
yeah, there's no fear these days.
But meanwhile,
There's
that
no
kid
fear.
smashed out like a window in a church or something, and peed all over the bushes and ran home and
Did something, but now it's all internet based and people and like
oh yeah,
they can get
everybody,
a different kind of crap than we could.
yeah.
It's weird.
You could get beat up by your teacher when I went to school.
Yeah.
I got that. I don't know if they still have them in schools now, but
Rulers?
remember that meter stick with the little plastic tip on the end of it?
Yeah.
That thing met my backside a few times.
You were a bad.
I was a bad
child.
kid. Well, I didn't have rules.
I get you. But
I was raised by a single mother
right.
with many fellows that came in and out of our lives. So she seemed to always be
Fair.
focused more on them
I got you.
than on me.
Yeah. I get you. See, I had a good upbringing. It's just when you did something wrong, you got in shit. Like, and you feared your parents. Now I don't even know which one I feared more, my mother or my father. They're both scary when you're a child.
I think I was a pretty bad, did bad. Actually, I wasn't. Out of all my friends, I was probably the nicer of them, but my friends were all really bad.
Wow, you had bad friends.
I had bad friends.
Yeah.
But I had an uncle in particular that sat me down many times. He sat me down many times. And he kind of, throughout the years of my life, raised me.
Okay.
And I look up to him.
Yeah.
He was in the Canadian Armed Forces for 37 years, made a career out of it. Great guy.
Yeah. Good role model.
Extremely good role model. And I don't think I would have turned out half as good as I did if he wouldn't have been in my life.
You didn't.
Well, I think I did. I didn't turn out okay.
Look at you.
Well,
Wearing the same shirt for 4 days in a row.
that's my favorite shirt. It doesn't stink yet.
Whatever.
It's a lot like underwear, right?
Yeah,
All
you
you
got
gotta do
4
is
days
take-
out of it.
All you gotta do is take some deodorant and rub some deodorant on it, and you're good to go. It smells good.
So, anyways, that's children. There's society. There's social. Now everything's on. Like they don't even talk to other kids.
I know.
Well, they do.
My
It's all through the
daughter-
phone. It's all through the phone. They don't
My-
see anybody.
My daughter's 14,
Yes,
which we discussed before,
I think so.
and
She's
she
not
had a
like that.
friend over to the house the other day.
Yeah, that's the same one that's not like a boyfriend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
neither one of them are allowed to have boyfriends. So that's why I love her hanging around with this girl.
Nice.
I'll shout out to you, Rebecca. I'm talking about you.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
But the two of them were sitting in my living room, and they were texting each other
In the same room.
in the same room with each other.
I know they do it all the time.
In the same room with each other.
That's because they're talking about you, or they're talking about stuff that they want to talk about that they can't say in front of us
No. Like for a good half hour, they sat there and just texted each other.
about stuff that they can't say in
Probably,
front
yeah.
of you. You need to realize that.
I think if we would have had cell phones and that back then, we probably would have been doing the same thing. Do you know what I
Well-
love about cell phones today?
You can track them.
That. Do you remember being 19, 20 years old, you're at a party with your buddies, and somebody says, "Hey, what was the name of the guy that was in that TV show that was also in that movie with that other guy?" And you're like, "What?" And then everybody's sitting there and you're all trying to think of it and you can't come up with it, and then the party ends and you go home and it's stuck in your head for days.
Yeah,
We don't have that problem anymore.
but I'm the opposite.
What do you mean?
I'm the opposite. I miss those days. Because how many?
Well, we were more sociable
But
back then, right?
think back to it though, that back in those days, we would get drunk and argue over who was in that movie,
Yeah.
and we would laugh and we'd argue and we go because nobody could pull out their phone and go, "Oh, hang on, that's Bill Smith."
Yeah.
You know, like it's taken away those arguments. Those drunken arguments until the next day or the next week when you ran back into you're like, yeah, you were right, I was drunk. But they've taken that away. But it is awesome that we can look up because how many times do we do that in a day?
Oh, when we're at, well, we work together as well, right? So we spend
Well, I work, I carry him.
more time together than I think we do with our wives,
Pretty
girlfriends,
close.
Michelle's, whatever. I think we spend a lot
Pretty
of time
close.
together.
Yeah, like a lot in a confined vehicle.
Yeah.
So it's
He's got some bad gas.
no,
Oh, it's bad.
no.
Oh, I've got witnesses that'll back me up on that. And if any of my witnesses are watching this video, you got to comment and leave a story on when, like for instance, right now. Oh, Jesus.
I do not, but that's your fault. We pick on each other all day at work. It's awesome. So you deserve the odd fart.
How long have we been friends?
2.5 years now.
2.5 years?
Yeah.
And I feel like we finish each other's sentences.
Kind of. You were going to say that, weren't you?
I was going to stop and hopefully I thought you were going to say sentences.
I know, but I didn't want to do it.
I know. I knew. I could tell by looking at you that you didn't want to
I was
do
waiting for you to do it. I wanted you to just stop and pause, and I was going to be like,
awkward. Okay, so that was children.
yes.
We should move on to.
Because we're pushing some time.
Oh yeah, we are.
So,
Did you guys fall asleep in there?
I can see.
Hey, wake up! They're awake,
They're awake.
or they've probably already left.
Or, yeah, I mean, we could get their attention.
Woo!
But
I think I shit a little. I felt something go.
that was your shrinker.
You made my sphincter.
Okay. So, what are we keep talking, or are we cutting this one short?
Let's talk about mums.
Moms.
I've never really heard you talk
Do you want
about.
to do another 40-minute video?
Well, I'll make it quick. I've never heard you talk about your mom.
Because she's
So I'm assuming you have a great mom.
she's a sweet, small, fearful lady.
And
She's like
I met them once. I met her
You
once.
have met them.
Yeah, I met her once.
she's like 5 foot. You've met her, and she's had some medical, so she looks maybe
Yeah.
sweeter, but she's deadly. She's 5 foot, but she can run like a cheetah, and she could beat you.
Well, I've disowned my mom.
I've heard that.
I have talked to her, I think, 3 times in the last 2 years.
I feel like I've been your surrogate mother,
You are.
so it happens.
Every time I see your shirt wet, I want to suckle on your nipple. Suckle? Is that what it's called? Suckling?
I don't know.
Is it
That's
suckling?
awkward.
Or is that another word I've made up?
It's another word you've made up.
All right. Well, I don't get along well with most of my family. There's a couple family members that I care a lot about,
Yes.
and then there's some that I know them, but
You don't.
we live different circles and
Different ways, different towns, different everything.
that I would like to spend more time with. But
You've got family, buddy.
I consider you
You've got
family.
family.
I consider you family.
We are family.
And
I love those big ears.
and
on
the,
you,
and,
blowing in the
and the
light
friends
like
that I keep close, I keep close.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to keep your enemies close.
I know.
But yes, no, my mother's a sweet little lady. I would do anything for her. This is a little bit of a mama's boy, but it's
Most guys with beards are mama's boys. That's why they grow beards to make them look like men.
so.
Hit
My
that
mom
right.
says I look pretty. Actually, my mom doesn't like the beard at all. She hates it.
Your dad doesn't have a beard.
He used to grow one in the
Your
winter.
dad makes great bread.
He does make great bread.
He makes great bread.
He's an excellent cook.
So this was a serious episode.
Kind of.
More serious than our
A
last.
little bit.
Yeah.
Trim those nose ear hairs.
No, I have those in there so I can't hear my wife when she's talking to me.
Oh, I gotcha. Makes sense.
That's what ear hair are for.
We didn't even get to wives. We just touched on mothers.
Yeah, I
and
know.
Children. We'll touch our wives next time.
Well, I didn't realize how fast the time goes by. What'd you say?
Nothing. Said we'll touch your wife next time.
Oh, okay. You can touch her.
Yeah, you touch it.
Because once you're married, you don't want to do that anymore, right?
Yeah, you do.
Did you know what wedding cake is? You know what oysters, or is it clams or oysters that are
Oysters.
an aphrodisiac?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Wedding cake is the opposite.
You know, there's one food that kills a sex drive.
Yeah, wedding cake.
Yeah.
It really does.
Uh,
If you're not married, don't get married.
No, get married.
Don't get married.
Do it.
Don't.
Do it.
Don't.
Do it.
See, I'm married.
I was married.
Exactly.
Do it.
Do you want to leave the video here?
Anyways, yeah, let's leave it here.
All right.
Let's walk away.
We want to see some of your guys' comments because,
We don't see enough of them.
we don't see enough of them. And
Could
we
be.
also want you guys to come up with a
Can
name.
you just shut up for a minute?
No, I can't.
Okay, go ahead.
I like to talk.
I know, go ahead.
We want you to come up with a name for our subscribers, like something Canadian-ish.
What was the one you wanted?
Well, I came up with Canadians.
Tell me where that came from.
I heard it somewhere. Somewhere.
It's a cricket cross between
Canadian and
Cajun.
yeah.
Are we deep frying them? Are we blackening
I
them?
don't know. I don't know what it is.
How about Little A's?
Little A's?
Or Canadians?
Well, what if they're not from Canada? Okay.
Eh? Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Stay tuned.
Oh, how about hosers?
No, that's taken. There's a whole TV show about that. You know those two Canadian guys that did a show years ago?
Oh yeah.
Take off, eh?
Hey, hey, pass me one of those beers there, eh? All right, keep your stick on the ice.
Two of us. Enjoy. Oops.